Hi, it's Hazel and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a relatively quick thrift haul. You probably know, I am a sucker for gift wrap. So this was an entire bundle and I paid next to nothing for it. So I'll do a quick I'll flip through. Oh, maybe let's make some room first. I bought this bundle off, the old-fashioned computer paper. So blue, yellow, white, pink. I don't know, what would that be? Kind of a yellowy color. Green and a wee bit more pink. And bundled in there was also just unlined. Oh, it says typewriter paper. Oh. Let's see what this is like. So it says 20 pound. Now you can tell it's not pure white anymore, so it must be fairly old. It's got that old paper smell too. Also, I'll take it out if it's plastic. That will help air it out a bit. So luckily I have some pretty good paper sorters, and so I mean, like every other part of my life, well, crafting life, it needs to be organized somewhat. But yeah, this will be cool because of course you can't print with it unless you take the strip off or maybe fold it back and like whatever. You know about paper. I don't need to tell you that. Oops. So yeah, that was kind of cool. I'll just set this aside. Where will I set this aside? It's one of those things that, a person does these haul these haul videos so that you can put things away. Oh, didn't realize I didn't finish dressing. Yeah, so gift wrap, of course, sometimes it's fairly modern. Maybe I won't bother doing. How about if I just roll this cuff up and maybe undo this one? Then it will look like I have some symmetry to me. Yes, so vintage paper, of course, is cool. Maybe we'll do it from the bottom up. And typically I would take it out if it's plastic, but I don't think I'll waste your time doing that now. Now, most of these packages have some sort of a price tag on them. So I don't know if they came from other thrift stores or if they were priced and they weren't selling and then they just thought they'd bundle them. That's a beautiful paper. This looks as old as the hills and has some discoloration along the edge, which confirms the age. Another utilitarian stripe. This one is, I guess those are probably, I don't know. I won't guess. Oh, what I was surprised, because of course I didn't flip through the bundle there. I just knew, wrapping paper. Yeah, sign me up. Look at all of these. Now, I have never seen this stuff before. It is very, very thin. Oh, I didn't realize it opens up so strangely. Okay, so this is the back side. Let's just take a gander at the front side. So, based on that dragon theme, and that's probably a fish there. And that kind of a gate. I'm thinking it's obviously, let me put this aside and hope it doesn't fall. I'm assuming it's Asian paper. But I don't, let's just open the second one and see if it's Yeah, I don't understand why. It must be made this way for a particular reason. You know, how's that for stating the obvious? You know, maybe it's a standard thing. You gift somebody a certain thing, and this is the perfectly folded paper to accommodate it. You can see there's some fading there from the sun or the light. So there's red, a couple red. Navy is quite nice. Another red. I'll put these together by color. But anyway, if you know anything about this, clue me in, please. Now there are, these, 4 packages. Somebody must have liked this paper. 29 cents. They have a folded gift tag in there as well, so don't have any idea how old this is. Not my favorite pattern in the world, but hey, sometimes if you need a splash of color or you need some floral motif, that would do. Whoever donated some of this stuff must have had a thing for sailboats, because there's more of that coming. So this is kind of, it's got some glitter on it, but it's kind of matte paper, so that's nice. I kind of have a weakness, mind you, I've got a weakness for all of this paper, but with these kind of primary colors and very graphic images, like those would be not, I can never see myself doing because again, landlocked prairie kid, not likely to do a water, beach, sailing kind of journal, but certainly those with primary colors, they'd make a great base for a masterboard. And by the time you're done with it, no one would know that there were boats. Here is a couple masculine pieces, obviously with golf clubs, golf balls, and a golf bag. This one I should probably take out of its package simply because I want a better look at it. Very vintagey, Victorian looking. And obviously the package was sealed. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Here's another one that is quite unique. Oh, that has a Woodward's tag on it. That store has been out of business for decades. I think it was, an all-Canadian kind of thing. I think it was run by a family, so, sometimes, just like with the Eaton store, they probably had the hardest time surviving the change in market trends. Anyway, this is really nice. Oh, this would be great for a nature journal. Swans, woodpeckers. Although I have to say, I don't have much use for woodpeckers since they are slowly, well, maybe not that slowly even, killing some of our specimen trees because, of course, they peck holes in the trunk, and they circumnavigate the whole trunk, just like it was almost like it's done by machine. It's so precise, evenly spaced, all in a row and multiple rows. So, trees, that doesn't do a tree any good. I've had this paper in the past. It is, it's in your face, it's colorful, it is beautiful. This one is interesting. I was trying to figure out why would there be these kids praying? I still don't know the answer, but I thought it was interesting that it was made in Spain. Nothing but the best imported paper for moi. So I don't know if this would have to do with maybe kids, communion or whatever. I don't know. That's not my religion, so I don't really know much about it. But yes, they're definitely kneeling in prayer. Oh, this is cool too. Okie dokie. Vintage, oh, that's anniversary paper. Pretty soft colors. This is another wedding paper. Pre-barcode days. We carried this wrapping paper in our store. So this is, well, there is no date, but this would have been 80s, 90s. So, you know, this would be great in a masculine journal, or, you know, fussy cut around those birds and pretend they were decoys, or put them in a nature journal. This is different. It's these ballerina mice, and quite, you know, very bold colors and so on. I don't know. I guess it was for a 3-year-old. Yeah, I want all my mice to be wearing tutus and ballet slippers. Now look at this. There are 2 packages of this. Again, no date unless... No, that's probably part of an address. I was going to say, unless it's that means 73, but let's just cut one of these open to give you an unobstructed or a non-glare view. For people who like to combine orange and pink, and I guess yellow, this is pretty cool. And again, it would be easy to fussy cut around the different motifs. This is, well, it's obviously wedding paper. 77 cents, man. This is very shiny, I'm sure. So it's got bells on it, so I imagine it was intended as wedding paper as well. Again, with that, with that much shine on it, you would, even the backside could be interesting. And then you don't have to contend with the glare. This could be, I mean, this is an interesting color on this side, but I think it's a bit hard on the eyes. So this could actually be used. I'll put this with my backing papers because I think that would be the best way to use a piece like that. And then several hunks of this one, which again, well, there's no packaging here, but looks very retro. Here's a paisley. Now this is rather interesting because it's, you know, it's kind of, look at that. Wouldn't that be a beautiful journal? I didn't open it up till just now. That is pretty classy looking. And it's got, well, obviously you can't see the whole thing at once. But, you know, definitely an orientation to this paper where it, you know, it's vertical the way I'm holding it, and then it just sort of fades off into those individual paisley symbols. Sorry if this is very noisy. I'm just trying to, whoops. Did I brush against your nose when it came that close to the, oh, and then this doesn't look very promising to me. It says, 79 birthday stick-ups. This was from Regal Greetings and Gifts. I don't know, does Regal even still exist anymore? You know, those were those little catalogs. They usually sold, stationery and, you know, cards and so on. Okay, birthday stick-ups, pre-cut, self-sticking, bright decals, clings to refrigerator, mirror, and windows. Reusable year after year. Oh my goodness, isn't that just awesome? I think this is absolutely ugly. It's pretty bad when the best part of it is the cardboard. Yeah, not good. Not good. Maybe I should stick this back in its, well, we'll do it afterwards. I'll stick it back in its bag and we can revisit a thrift store. Okay, so that is the extent of the gift wrap. This is similar, and I have very much trouble saying no to scented drawer liners. Beautiful box. Freesia is the pattern. There are a lot of people that love this. Still delicately scented. I'm now getting a collection of these boxes, let me tell you. Oh, there isn't much left in here. 1, 2, only 3 left. I should have complained about the price. Lesson to be learned. Just because it's got this protective thing on doesn't mean it's intact. But, you know, what I typically do with this is flatten it out. We'll cut it into, you know, sort of signature size pieces, flatten it out, and then it's ready to use. Because in this format, it's, you know, a person isn't likely to reach for it because it's not ready to use. So I will do that. Now, it wasn't till I heard Angela, the traveling crafter, talk about these little teeny weeny elastics. Like they're in that, well, I actually bought mine. It was surprising. I saw, I think, 3 different containers full. So it would have been in here, which is a nice big clean box, you know, sorting type box. And it, I got this at Value Village, so of course I got it on Senior's Day and saved 30%. Anyway, these things, these little elastics, is for making jewelry. You know, kids project. What the heck? I can't get rid of that little sticky thing. Anyway, so these tiny little elastics are good for wrapping, for holding tiny things together. So I just threw them all in here, number 1, because it looks cute, and number 2, so that they're easy to grab and use. Because frankly, easy to grab and use is pretty well an essential as far as I'm concerned. Just set that aside. Now this, whoa, I'm losing my grip here. This was all rolled up, you know, like so. Didn't know what I was getting other than it said embroidered tablecloth, and maybe it gave the dimensions. So this is different than the kind my mom used to do or that I have seen before. So it's got this border, but that's a machine border. So it serves the purpose of decorating the edge and also holding the hem in place. And then it has very little actual cross-stitch work on this. Like, I mean, any of us could have done this. It's so simple. So, oh, not very fresh smelling. I will throw this in the wash and obviously use it in some future project. Oh, I just about lost my grip here. Anyway, this, I discarded the bag because it was kind of dirty looking. I have, another thing I have weakness for is napkins, paper napkins. So this says, no rest for the fabulous, which I'm thinking could describe any of us. It is obviously an all-over design and colors that I love. So to get a big batch like that. Then this says Rock the Crown. You know, you can tell same sort of designer, company, or whatever. And then a bunch of these paper plates. Now, I have no idea who these people are. There was some sort of packaging, but I threw it out because it was dirty. So there was a picture with these 3 women. So if you know who these guys are, tell me. Now, I could either eat my lunch on these and use them up that way, or what I was thinking, now maybe it shows best on this one. See this, where this little, I don't know, ridge is? Imagine if I cut that square out. Now, yes, we'd lose the top of her, which is probably one of the prettiest parts of her hair, but you know, you've got the essence of her face. Here we'd lose, again, the tiara and her, you know, the top of her head. Here we'd lose her pretty purple hair. But I'm thinking those would make pretty cool pockets, journaling cards, or whatever. So when I have a moment, I will do that. Now, back off in the background, there's a castle. So I don't know if this is a... Ooh, that's gross. I don't know if this is a Disney thing. You know, when you don't, when you're not a child and your grandchildren are boys living in another country, you're just not up on this kind of stuff. So clue me in. This I grabbed, as you can imagine, because of the colors and the paisley. It is a photo album. Let's see, let me just tell you what the size is. It's 13 1/4 inches tall by 7 inches wide. Now, these things in the past, I've bought photo albums, way too many, you know, many sizes, thinking, oh, I'll just put my ephemera in here. I mean, the good thing about doing that is that there's visibility. The bad thing about doing that is it's hard to get them in and out, and you have to remember to go and find your ephemera books. And you know, I had one for butterflies and one for bees and one for flowers, and it just, like, you could fill shelves with these things, and it doesn't necessarily make them easier to use. So what I think I'm going to do, it's like 2 signatures here, is carefully, should I do it? Should I do it right this minute? That way I'm committed to doing it. Oh, no tools required. So, now this is obviously a bit wide for a tall skinny, but man, oh man, I love that cover. Now I could, I'm sure, this is kind of, I don't know, is it plasticky or what the heck is it? I could probably pull this off. Well, let's do it one half at a time. Oh, you can force it and wreck it, you know, just like that. Yeah, so it works better. Whoa, so I ruined that also. Wrecked the plastic. Maybe I should stop while I'm ahead, hey? Hey. She said, and then ignored her own advice. Okay, so I have this. Now, would it make more sense to use these things this way as top loading? Probably easier to get into than this way. The other thing that a person could do is peel this back a bit. Maybe glue this down onto itself. And then, again, much easier to get into. So that's a possibility. Or maybe I never look at this again. Who knows? I probably... Let's not. Let's be patient and not do that. Okay, what else? Oh, yes, I do have a few more items. This is, again, a Value Village thing, less 30. Let me just cut these staples off. And I believe this is one of the smallest quantities off an invitation kit that I've ever seen. Typically, when I buy them, it's a box full. But, again, I was drawn to this color. So what is this exactly? Oh, it's like a sleeve. Oh, look at it. Isn't that cool? Now, are these ready-made belly bands or what? Ready-made pockets or what? Glue the sides, ready-made envelope or what? I think I like that idea the best. Cool. I haven't seen this. Okay, here in this case, it was, you know, they've used it as kind of, well, a belly band, I guess, around the invitation. So we've got that. We've got ribbon, of course, which I'll add to my ribbon stash. Oh, so this was a wedding kit, so it must have been one of the smaller ones. Oh, just enough to make 10 invitations. No wonder it fit in a plastic bag. Okay, let's see what we have here. Get rid of some of this debris. Oh, more of these. No, or is this something different? No, it's the same thing. I love these. That's a lot of them, though. That's way more than 10. Or maybe they bought 2 packages for their wedding. And this is, like, really, you know, cool pastel, sweet, soft color. Get rid of this and this and this. Okay, so we have this much paper. This many envelopes. Oh, maybe they had 3 kits. Okay. Oh, and then you put the ribbon around the... Cool. Guess some of these are going in Happy Mail. Okay. So, yeah, you know, at Value Village, sometimes I curse them, but this was just one of those grab bags that, you know, they have hanging along the perimeter wall of the store. And it just irks me to no end that most of the time the people doing the bagging don't have the sense to have some of the things fake. And I've said this before, so you're probably thinking, oh, here she goes again. But honestly, one day I'm going to have to talk to a store manager and just say, can your people please bag those things so that the poor unsuspecting customer has at least 2 visuals of what's in the bag. The front of the bag and the back of the bag. Is that too much to ask? Okay, and of course, cream-colored ribbon is... I need to actually come up with an idea of using some ribbon because, of course, I keep... See, I can use these sorts of things just as backing paper. So I have a, and I think I've said it before, I have a magazine rack right here to the right of my legs on the floor that I put those kinds of things in so that I can reach for it easily. And I find I'm going through a heck of a lot more of it. So I have things there like vintage book pages. Well, you saw me put, oh, I have things like this, where this is from a calendar, where you sometimes, you know, you maybe cut that off or whatever, and use the lined parts of it. Yeah, so it's a visual eyesore, but, oh, I have some bookend papers. It's a visual eyesore, but man, I am using it, so that's all that I care about. Now, this is a photo frame. I love this kind of tapestry paper, or not paper, fabric. Got a couple of tassels, and I'm thinking, does this not say journal cover to you? It's got a, you know, kind of a 3/4 inch spine, so to speak. A person could put images in these pockets, and the cover is done. I mean, do some embellishing and the cover is done. This is the second time I've bought a thing like this. Now, and I don't really understand what it means. Ticket pins. Ticket pins. They're only 5,000, so I shouldn't have a problem using them. Anyway, it is a spool off these sort of 1-inch little pins. And sometimes that's all you need to tack some ribbon or lace. You know, if you've wound it around something, whether it's a cardboard bobbin or even if you leave it on the spool, you know, if you can pin it, like Scotch tape is easy, but it doesn't work very long. It doesn't work well for long. But yet these little pins are so easy to use and stick in and remove and so on. So, and the other thing is that as you empty, and sometimes just to make it a little quicker to use, I'll remove a bunch of them, put them in a little jar or something, and then they're even easier to get at. But then, of course, you've got this interesting little strip of paper once you've removed the pins. So I will, and I think I've even shared this with some people, if I'm not mistaken, because that's a lot of pins, man. Oh, I found this. It was only $1.79, which is kind of cheap when you think about it. And this one says The Animals of Farmer Jones. So I thought, well, I'm a farmer, so, or a farm wife, so why can't I have this? Now, it was copyright 19, why does it say 1942 and then 53? And this was the 25th printing in 1982. These aren't the greatest illustrations I've ever seen, I have to say, but the book is in pristine condition, so look at. So yeah, why not? I saw a video the other day on how a woman takes hers apart so that she's able to, obviously she doesn't make very thick books, but she does it so that she's able to preserve this gold spine. So, you know, it's like everything else. There's many approaches as there are people doing it. I also have quite an extensive collection of books on rocks, minerals, and, you know, gemstones and so on. Now, this is one of those DK books, which I like. $5 less 30. And someday I'm going to do something with these. I just thought that, you know, this is cute. And there's a lot to fussy cut out of here. Like, you know, so an image like that could be used in a boho journal or, well, a boho journal. Or then again, you could put it in a boho journal. But, you know, these books tend to be written for children and in, you know, pretty simplistic terms. So we can all understand. I do have a collection of rocks and gems and so on, and I do believe in their healing properties. I have a chunk of amethyst right here on my laptop because supposedly it helps remove some of the what would you call it? The emissions from electronics. There was a point in my life where I couldn't fall asleep, so I would have a piece of amethyst, not a rough one like that, obviously, but you know, polished amethyst that I just slip into the pillowcase. And I don't know if it was the placebo effect, but I thought it helped. Anyway, enough about that. Now this is one of the weirder things that I've ever bought, and I didn't actually buy this. I mean, I got it, but I didn't set out to buy it. I never got into this diamond art. But you know how sometimes when you're doing photography of items, either, you know, for an auction listing or a product listing on, you know, Etsy, Maker's Market, wherever, you want that neutral white backdrop. Now, I had one of those cardboard, you know, things, but it was black. So, you know, and it was good. It was like for a science fair or something. However, black is not the right color for this purpose. So, am I going to rush out and pay $20 or whatever for a white one? No, I'm going to turn it inside out. And that was fine for the two wing parts, but not good for the center part, which had some branding, some printing on it. So then, oh, and it also had the cross piece with the notches cut into it so that you could hold, make sure it stayed upright. It wasn't, you know, wings weren't flipping out and the thing falling down. So then I used, like, honest to goodness, the things I go through to save $1 sometimes, just kind of Anyway, so I I then used a piece of white foam core that I had to sort of clip to cover the back part, because I tried covering it with paint, and of course, you know, whites aren't all white. Anyway, long story short, I found a white one, again at Value Village. It was taped closed, so I couldn't see inside. But all of these things, completed pieces, I gather, were inside there. So this one, probably not that easy to look at it from home either, but it looks like this was you know, maybe a bride and groom, those two hands. This is the one that unfortunately is not complete. And of course, there were no supplies here. But it's obviously an owl, and look at the beautiful colors. So about, well, no, there are gaps. Oh, I didn't realize that it was let me not peel that off. And I have to say, there is kind of an unpleasant smell coming from this stuff. So let me just see if it is this. Oh, yeah. Well, or does it smell like, does it stink because it was in a, you know, it's got secondhand smoke. It does smell kind of smoky, to be honest. This, believe it or not, is a fox all curled up into itself. This is done. Now I'm thinking that I've never tried, I don't know what, I think these little diamonds are on here pretty well. So I'm thinking that these could become journal covers. I don't know, cut along a horizontal line. And anyway, but look at this one. Is this not the prize? And it's big. It is, the overall design is 16 by, it's probably square, 16 by 15 and a half. So, I mean, beautiful. I don't, like the shininess doesn't really appeal to me, but clearly with these registration marks on it, a person could also very easily staple it to stretcher bars and have, you know, a wall thing as well. So not quite sure what I'm going to do with them yet, but I will ponder it, because if I could, maybe I'd experiment on, you know, this smallest one. Oh, okay, you hear that creaking and cracking? We have a cover for a tall skinny. Now, it would probably be next to impossible. I don't think we've been at this that long, so maybe I can take the time to do this. I'm cutting right along the edge, which probably wasn't the smartest decision I've ever made. I could have given a little grace around the edge. I'll just cut two sides. So this is on some kind of plasticized canvas type material. Now, at this point, you don't know what this is, but does it matter? It could be further decorated. But as I was saying, the tricky part, maybe this would have to be like a one signature thing. So it folded in half, it's not quite 5.5 inches. by a little under 10. So maybe this will be my guinea pig. And of course, if the spine gets damaged with the sewing in process, it could always be covered with lace or fabric or something to hide any damage that was done during the sewing in part. Again, if you're watching this and you've either done this kind of work, I mean the actual diamond painting or whatever they call it, or if you have used a finished thing like this, because I'm seeing these things kind of with increasing frequency. So, you know, people, I guess some people jump on the bandwagon and do whatever is the current craze and then decide, well, I don't want that anymore, or I've had enough, or whatever. They do it for the therapeutic act of doing it and then don't really care about the finished product. Anyway, if you can shed some light on this, it would be nice. And I think that does it for this. Yeah, I'm done. So thank you so much for joining me. I will, I always, on my thrifting videos, although theoretically, I'm not supposed to be doing videos on Thursdays anymore. I was trying to carve out 2 days out of the week where I didn't have videos, but it seems I'm falling into a old habits, and I'm creeping up to 5 or 6 to 6 videos a week. Anyway, the point is the hashtags that I would typically use are Thrifty Canucks, hosted by Kim Newberg, Thrifted Treasures, hosted by Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic, and sometimes Thrifty Thursday, hosted by Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. So I guess you'll see this when you see this. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.